do. This week, I've got my two guests with me. Again, to remind you, I'm Marion. I'm a Thurso Community Development Trust board member, and I've got Joan Laurie, our development manager, and we've got Jill here, who is our gardener from Thurso Grows. So I'm just going to ask them both some quick fire questions to keep you all up to date with what we're doing. So we'll start with Joan. Joan, last week you introduced the trust and what we do and spoke about the community response that we're currently doing in the town, Holkirk and in Caithness West. So can you give us a bit of an update on how that's gone this week?
So we have, I think we published on social media actually this week that up until Sunday, we'd taken, it was just over 300 calls, and we can probably add about another 40 to 50 calls onto that as well now. I was doing some volunteer processing today, so we've got 143 volunteers registered with us. We are out and about doing shopping, picking up prescriptions. We've got these volunteer admins who are answering the phone to people and having chats to folk, and they are just amazing. There's actually a bit of a virtual call centre that's been set up across Thurso. Just the best bunch of people. And I think just some of the best volunteers that we could have as well. There was all sorts of other things that went on over the weekend as well. So delivering Easter parcels, Easter baskets, getting trees out of streams, just amazing stuff that's going on. There's nothing that's too much bother, basically. That's what's going on. Yep.
Yeah. So, we're encouraging people to get in touch with us for any kind of support. We're not promising anything, but we'll certainly try our best. As Joan was saying, we were rescuing trees out of streams and all sorts at the weekend. So just give us a shout. So what was my next question? Oh, how do people get involved in the community response, Joan?
So to get involved, you need to go to our website. If you go to www.thursocdt.co.uk, and then there is a link there for coronavirus updates or coronavirus chaos. It's one of those.
No updates.
Updates, okay. And on there's a form that you can fill out that comes directly through to us. It's actually me myself. I process all of the volunteer things that come through. So there can be a little bit of a delay. You know, if you don't hear back something immediately, then that's just because we're caught up in doing other things. What we do then is we send out an induction pack, because obviously it's really important that everybody stays safe. We ask you to confirm the induction pack, and then after that we will add you onto WhatsApp. But that process can just take us a couple of days to process people. And we have all different sorts of volunteers. So we have some people that are dog walking, we have some people that are delivering Easter baskets, we have some folks that are going about doing shopping and prescriptions and things like that. And there's no onus on you, like you don't have to be volunteering 24/7 or anything. We basically operate a WhatsApp group, and you pick up what you can pick up. Or if you need to take a break from it or anything like that, that's fine as well. The other way that you can help us, if you're not able to physically volunteer, is we would really appreciate your donations. We've got a Just Giving site that's been set up. I'm pretty sure we can put the link to it below. I think the last time that I looked at it, there was £900 in there. And that is really genuinely supporting the people in the community, and also quite genuinely supporting our volunteers as well, because they're just doing an amazing amount of work. I think your next question is to ask me where we're going to next. Is that?
How did you know?
Well, I wrap it on. It's like we're psychic. So next we are looking at doing a hot meal service. We're really picking up that for some folk just getting shopping isn't really enough, and also it would provide a bit of social contact for folks that are stuck indoors, just to get a meal delivered to them every day, obviously under social distancing rules. We are also working very hard on ideas and things that we can do to lift community spirit as this goes along. So we've been whittering on about it for ages, but we are doing a special issue of the community magazine that is going to go through the doors of every home in Thurso. And we are working away on it at the moment. It is nearly complete, but we are still looking for some images for our front cover. When we started putting it together, and I'm going to flick it up just now and hopefully it's going to help work. It just looks amazing with loads of rainbows on the front of it. And some of you have sent in your pictures of your rainbows and stuff. So if you have any pictures of yourselves with rainbows, the rainbows in your window, your kiddies next to the rainbows, please send them in to us within the next 24 to 48 hours, and we can get those on the front cover. For anybody else who's sent in images already, we are going to have a bit of a rogues gallery going on the back of the magazine with all of those photos. But once we started putting this together, it just looks brilliant with all the rainbows on the front of it. And we just really love more rainbows on the front of it. It would just be amazing. Just, yeah, it would really be something bright and cheery that comes in through people's doors. Which I think leads us on to Jill, really, because Jill is part of our Thurso Grows team, who's a regular contributor to our community magazine, as we try to encourage you all to grow local and to shop local and to make delicious local food and all of those things.
Yeah, so just a welcome to Jill. For any new people to our Facebook page or our YouTube channel, which is weird that we have a YouTube channel, but we do. So one of our projects is Thurso Grows. So we have the community garden, which is in Ormley, and we have a team of staff and a team of volunteers who regularly take care of the garden, growing some really amazing things, and they've done loads in the last, how long have we been going? About a year or so. So yeah, I'm going to chat with Jill just now and hear about what she's been up to. So Jill, if you could tell me what you've been up to since the lockdown period and how you've been keeping busy.
Okay. Mostly in my own garden, obviously, since this started. But just before this all happened, I managed to grab some seeds from the potting shed in the garden, and I brought them home with some compost and some extra pots and things. So I've been sowing some lettuce, and I've got cauliflower and rocket and tomatoes and peppers, and I've even got some loofahs because Joan wanted some loofahs, so we've got 7 loofahs on the go. So yeah, I've just been planting loads of things and trying to get stuff sown so that hopefully at some point when this is lifted a little bit, I can get along to the garden and just plant out all the extra stuff that we've got and just boost what we've got at the garden with a bit of luck. Yeah. So that's
and you've been doing some YouTube videos for helping other people to grow at home as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been putting on a sort of go get gardening type activities on a Friday night, just for people to try and get them into gardening a little bit if they've never tried it before. Myself, I didn't know anything about gardening up until a few years ago, and I started literally when I moved up here. So, God, if I can do it, then anybody can do it. So if you've just got a balcony or a windowsill or just a window ledge even, it's amazing what you can put in a wee pot and just grow on your own some herbs or some chilies or, I don't know, even a tomato plant. So, but just little pointers and things just to try and help people get into it and make a start. It's not as scary as you think. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot of different ways of doing things as well, but just give it a go and see how you get on. That's the best way to learn. That's what I find anyway. Just jump in and do it. So
that's like the trust motto. So yeah, tell us a bit more about what's coming up next. I think you've got some online workshops, is it?
Yeah, so I've done an online workshop because originally this was of course going to be run as an attendance workshop at the garden, and it was due to be run on Sunday, just a 2-hour attendance workshop. So what I've actually done is split that 2 hours into 4 30-minute sessions. Pre-recorded them so that I can answer questions and things. Plus, I don't know if the internet will be all that good from the polytunnel, so I've pre-recorded it so that I can answer any questions that people have, and they can watch those videos in their own time, at their own pace, and it just takes you through how to sow some seeds, and just little things like what pests and problems to look out for when the plants are young. A wee thing at looking at compost and different types of bits and pieces that you can put them into, and it will just go out from Sunday, each part every Sunday at 11 o'clock for the next 4 weeks, and people can watch that at their leisure. And I was sort of planning to, I've never done a Facebook watch party before, but I was planning to do something along those lines that I could maybe answer some questions live afterwards if people have watched it and have got any queries, then they can contact me that way, or the people who've said that they're interested have been contacting me via email as well. So so that's what's coming up, and hopefully we'll get some data out of them as well for the crunching figures for the Climate Challenge Fund. So hopefully that's the way we'll go with it.
Brilliant. So is that Facebook 11 o'clock on?
Facebook 11 o'clock on Sunday, and also scheduled for YouTube on Sunday. So the first part goes out, and we'll be looking a little bit at seed parts and the different parts of the seeds, just understanding little bits about them and how they grow and get started before they appear through the soil at us. So that's our first part.
I think I'm definitely going to be tuning into that, like, even though I might be the boss lady, I don't know anything about growing plants. So, yeah, I'm going to be watching. I'm also, just to pick up on the loofah thing, I'm delighted that the loofahs are working. This is amazing. And just to clarify, this is like the loofah you'd have in your bath. This is what we're growing. Yeah.
There you go, Joan.
Oh, so
one of your loofahs.
Wow.
Cool. We've minced Maureen's brain now.
I'll keep moving because I'm sitting on my feet. Anyway, so my last question, Jill, and I just learned this is I don't have a brown bin, but I believe that brown bin collections have stopped. And I know that you guys have loads of composting tips. So if you could point people in the direction to some content you've already created, or give just 1 or 2 tips just now for anyone that's struggling without their brown bins being collected.
Yeah. Well, first of all, we've got Sharon and I have originally done some videos on composting, and Sharon did a brilliant one on the worm bins and things that she has at home. I've got one on the pallet system that I've got in my own garden. But there are some videos on YouTube and they're on the Facebook page. But also recently I just did another 3 in light of the fact that the brown bin collections have been stopped. So there's one little video that's kind of in 3 parts again, and there's one little video there looking at what's known as the bokashi system, which is a composting system for cooked food waste, which you can't do, of course, with the other systems that Sharon and I have discussed in the past. There's some alternative methods for utilising sort of a compost bin system. So if you don't have a standalone, like the Dalek type bins that you get, they look like Daleks from Doctor Who. If you don't have one of them, you could maybe utilise a black refuse bin, for example, and drill some holes in it. You could use some bread baskets. So there's a little video there on that. And then there's also a video, the last one is just looking at the sort of pallet system and how you could maybe just disassemble a pallet and make it into a compost bay for your garden waste. And then, of course, you can add your raw food waste into that as well. So there are 3 little videos out there, and they were posted both on YouTube and on the Facebook page recently as well, just within the last week. So there's 3 new videos there if you're interested for some alternatives.
Lovely. Well, thank you very much, Jill. And just for anyone who's watching, the Thurso Grows Project have their own Facebook page, so you'll find it, just search for Thurso Grows. We'll probably put a link in with this post on our Facebook page as well from the Trust. So thank you, everybody, for watching again. And if you have anything you want us to discuss, or anybody that you think would be good at joining us in our little gang here in Thurso News, then please just get in touch, and we'd love to hear from you. So stay safe, go outside, clap again. It's Thursday evening, so 8 o'clock, make sure you're out clapping, singing and dancing.
What are we dancing what this week? It's the Nolans. It's the Nolans. I'm in the mood for dancing. That's what we're dancing for this week.
The Nolans.
Yeah.
Get Kids FM on, get out on the doorsteps, get dancing, get clapping, and have a good time. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.